Cyberpunk 2077 had a rocky launch, to say the least. Well, rocky is definitely an understatement. A better phrase would be historically bad. I played the game on PS4 at launch, and although I saw the game's core truly shine, I was consistently thrown off by poor technical performance on last-gen consoles. However, the fact of the matter was that I still loved Cyberpunk 2077. Night City was a fully realized cyberpunk dystopia that was brimming with personality and love. Playing as a mercenary named V, you set out to make it to the big leagues, but soon learn what the cost of being a legend truly entails. The story and its characters gripped me, and its themes stayed with me long after I put down the controller. There's a reason I dropped every current game I had been playing to play this game again. I never finished Cyberpunk. I stopped playing right before the last main story mission, because I knew I wasn't getting the best experience, and wanted to wait for the updates that would fix the game. Fast forward 3 years, and Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty was announced along with its 2.0 update. This would bring changes that would fix the game, delivering players what the game should have been on launch, as well as packing in a whole new storyline. There's something to be said about these redemption stories in gaming, as we see more and more of them pop up. I know it's hard for some gamers to forgive and forget. I personally don't think that the forgetting part of that equation is ever acceptable. However, I do think that there is endless merit in developers getting their product to what was promised, even if that promise takes 3 years to fulfill. So, to properly review Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, I want to look at what the 2.0 update has done to fix the core game. Then I feel like I can truly dive into the exceptional Phantom Liberty expansion. Here is my review for Cyberpunk 2077 and Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. The 2.0 update has brought many changes and updates to the base game, so much in fact that I completely started a new save to experience the full extent of these changes. The difference is completely night and day here. I was finally able to truly experience what was hampered by bugs and bizarre technical performance. Gunplay in the base game was never a weak spot for Cyberpunk, but here the changes that have been made make combat feel even more like a rush. V's character upgrade system has been completely scrapped and reworked. Skills feel like they actually affect gameplay in a meaningful way. If you put skills into reflexes per se, you will gain abilities that allow you to zip around the battlefield. If you put skills into strength, then you can become a powerhouse that tanks damage and is a force to be reckoned with. Some of this stuff was able to be achieved before this update, but here it's been dialed up to an 11. I myself put more of a focus at being adept in blades and assault rifles. The added functionality with blades in this update makes for even more preem firefights. Blades can now deflect bullets, and you can unlock cool finishers for enemies. I feel like with this playstyle, I got the best of both worlds, and I could see so many other possibilities for V, such as being a netrunner, an expert at hacking enemies and controlling the battlefield without lifting a finger, or specializing in stealth and blade throwing, moving through the combat arenas like a ghost. It's a testament to the game design on display here that gameplay is capable of being so diverse. Driving has also been reworked. Pre-update, it was sort of comical how handling on the cars were. You would skid around Night City with no sense of weight, and it was akin to sliding around on an ice rink, essentially making cars undrivable, which made me rely heavily on motorbikes, which at least handled with some sort of believability. These issues are completely gone in the new update. With a new focus on unlocking cars through side jobs, cars feel like an essential part to Cyberpunk again. Visual improvements are on display here, making Night City, the city of dreams, look even more spectacular than it did on launch. Overall, I had a greatly improved experience as far as technical performance goes. The occasional bug still reared its head, and I had 2 hard crashes playing on day 1. However, after a quick patch, I have not had any more crash issues. The Cyberpunk 2.0 update has revitalized Cyberpunk, allowing for its excellent core game to shine through. Before I get into Phantom Liberty, I want to talk about my thoughts on the base game of Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk 2077 as a whole is really good at making you feel as if you are living in a fully realized world. The setting of Night City is a true gem of an open world that I don't feel has been topped since its original release in 2020. The lights, the architecture, the fashion, the ads. Night City is the futuristic city of my dreams. I always just find myself stopping to stare at the dazzling setting that's been created here, and that's a testament to the game's superb world design and environmental art. The story took a hold of me and never let me go after an opening hour that really gets its hooks into you. You connect with V and understand their plight. The set pieces are never a slouch, as you will go from breaking into the most dangerous of corporations to navigating the treacherous depths of cyberspace. The way the main characters come to life in the story through top-notch animation work and voice work is a sight to behold. The way they move around spaces, as they talk, and the subtleties of their animations is top-of-the-line stuff. The score and the overall sound of the game is also exceptional. This game's OST is a beautiful cocktail of synth undertones that are both hopeful but sad, perfectly fitting the themes that Cyberpunk is going for. This might seem like I'm fanboying over this game, but it's truly exceptional stuff. It does have its negatives, most relating to technical issues, some of which are baked into the game so deep that no amount of patching would be able to fix it. However, the good stuff about this game shines so bright and manages to overcome these issues. Cyberpunk 2077 is a piece of art. It's a labor of love, and it has a lot to say. It's almost perfect in my eyes, which is compounded by the exceptional Phantom Liberty DLC.
Clock's ticking. Relic will finish me sooner rather than later.
Think this is it, kiddo.
What's going on?
I made so many mistakes.
Johnny!
Did terrible things.
You claim to be an agent now. So act like it.
Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, first and foremost, is a spy thriller. Picking up around 5 hours into the main storyline of 2077, you will get a call from the mysterious Songbird. Shortly after, you will be introduced into the new section of the map called Dogtown, which is integrated nearly seamlessly into the pre-existing map. Songbird will promise V that she's able to save their life from the biochip that is killing them, but only at a price. This will set you on a mission that involves saving the President of the new United States of America, which gets V involved in a plot of espionage and high-stakes action. Phantom Liberty's opening hour, like the base game, is simply superb, and it's among the best set pieces in the entire game. I absolutely adore what was done here. Without spoiling anything, Phantom Liberty explores what spies for the government go through when their governments have decided to throw them away, and like any good spy thriller, it asks the question, who can you trust? Idris Elba plays Solomon Reed, an undercover FIA agent called back into the fray, and he adds substantial star power and gravitas to the storyline. The story itself is pretty chunky, taking me around 26 hours to beat, which includes starting my character from scratch and getting to the point where Phantom Liberty unlocks. The plot will take you through bombastic missions with plenty of twists and turns. Oh, and a healthy amount of betrayal too. Some of my favorites included a multi-stage infiltration into a high society party, and another where you have to try your skills at the classic spy impersonation. Here you actually have to remember details about the person you impersonate. I think that Phantom Liberty works best when you don't rush through it and complete the base story of Cyberpunk along it, which is what I did. This takes the steam out of Phantom Liberty a little bit, but it's good stuff, and I feel like you should savor every bit of it. The choices you make in Phantom Liberty matter heavily, and it influence the direction of the story, which consequently affects which endings you get, of which there are 4. Every ending feels earned, and fits in with themes of a cyberpunk espionage story. Everyone doesn't get a happy ending in the world of Cyberpunk 2077. The ending to Phantom Liberty doesn't pull any punches, and the one I got was bittersweet, and left me thinking about it long after the credits rolled. Phantom Liberty also adds gameplay expansions to Cyberpunk. Dogtown is filled with lots of new side gigs and other side content. Along with the newly updated skill tree from 2.0, Phantom Liberty also adds in another branch called the Relic Tree. This gives some pretty substantial upgrades to V's skill set. Another thing that's added is airdrops. These airdrops rain all over Dogtown, and hold valuable loot for V if you choose to fight your way through the goons that get there first. Overall, Phantom Liberty is more than a worthy expansion of Cyberpunk 2077. It adds an all-new, lengthy storyline with meaningful side content and gameplay additions. Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, along with Cyberpunk's 2.0 update, is a worthy ending for this game's journey. I think as time goes on, people will look back at Cyberpunk and not think of its launch troubles, but think of how good the game is now and how well it ended. I had a blast jumping into the world of Cyberpunk, and eagerly await the announcement of its sequel. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty is available on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Don't miss Caitlin's review of the Looking Glass sound by Catreon Award. For everything else geeky, stay right here on the Geek Wave.
You play grown-up games, you face grown-up consequences.
What would you do in my shoes, Johnny?
You're up against seasoned players. So go out and play. Just don't get played.